There is an old video on my channel that needs to be addressed. It's a video about the Hunger Games where I attempted to tear it apart by making fun of things that don't make sense. But quite frankly, it isn't very good, and it wasn't very well researched. So a lot of what I made fun of isn't correct. This has always kind of been at the back of my mind, but I got a comment on it recently pretty much saying how wrong the video is. So I've decided it would be fun to break down exactly what I said in the video and criticize myself for a change. So let's jump in and analyze every reason why the Hunger Games sucks.
The Hunger Games begins with Katniss, a skilled archer, hunting for food in the forest. However, it's unclear why she's so talented with a bow and arrow, rivaling the likes of Hawkeye as she shoots a bird mid-air. This is never explained for that matter.
So I kind of answered my own question here. She's a skilled archer because she is a hunter and has much practice doing so. She has presumably been hunting from a young age, considering she lives in District 12 where food is scarce. Also, if I did a tiny bit of research, it would have revealed that she had learned archery from her late father. So her being a great archer is in fact explained after all.
While gathering bread, Katniss expresses her amazement at the availability of food, despite not appearing malnourished herself. I don't expect them to hire anorexic actors or anything, but come on, Liam Hemsworth is not starving.
So here is another point that is pretty stupid if you look into it. Obviously they are not going to hire anorexic actors like I mentioned, so the actors aren't going to look starving. But there is a reason Liam Hemsworth's character is somewhat buff. You see, he had put his name into the reaping 42 times in order to gain extra food for his family, so it makes sense that he's not that well nourished. There is also a line that mentions this in the movie, so I didn't even have to look very hard.
How many times was your name in today?
42. Guess the odds aren't exactly in my favor.
The film introduces the concept of eligibility for the Hunger Games from ages 12 to 18, which seems pretty fucking unfair. A 12-year-old can hardly compete against an 18-year-old in terms of physical and mental capabilities.
Well, it is unfair, but that doesn't make it valid criticism. A 12-year-old does have a disadvantage, but this isn't a movie mistake, it's just how the book was written. The youngest winner of the Hunger Games was Finnick, who was only 14 at the time. This criticism really makes no sense as the movie didn't do anything wrong.
Another oddity is the fact that a young girl is a master knife thrower without explanation. Seems to be a bit of a theme going here.
So this is explained. I even wrote on the screen it isn't explained in the movie, and that was just a really dumb oversight on my behalf. This is Chloe from District 2, and Hamish says in the movie that District 1 and 2 train in a special academy.
From District 1.
And 2. They train in a special academy.
This is the reason she is so great at knife throwing. Oh, this video is really bad.
Perhaps the most baffling moment comes when Peter, a cake decorator, reveals himself to be a skilled makeup artist by blending seamlessly into the environment. One wonders how the ability to decorate fucking cakes transfers to this unique talent.
Okay, this next point is actually legitimate. No way a cake decorator could be on that level of makeup skills. Might be the only good point in the entire video.
Katniss receives an 11 out of 10. Yeah, you heard that correctly. An 11 out of 10. This shit is so stupid. What's the point of making it out of 10 if someone can get an 11?
Well, I'm wrong yet again. It's not a rating out of 10, the rating is out of 12. That's why she can get an 11. Because there are 12 districts, that actually makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Emily Keep Smiling, for opening my eyes.
Additionally, the ability of every character to speak in front of a crowd with ease seems very implausible, with only Katniss appearing to struggle with this aspect. It's like they don't care that they're about to die and none of them have stage fright in front of an audience.
So this is a little confusing that the majority of them seem to have loads of confidence. But for one, they don't show every tribute, so maybe some of them were shy. And secondly, they all have mentors who would have told them they need to be likable to get sponsors and stay alive. Considering their life is on the line, I can fully understand them pushing past their stage fright and at least attempting to put on a show.
Katniss gets attacked by fireballs and ends up trapped in a tree. Her pursuers, unable to climb or shoot accurately for that matter, decide to wait her out.
This next part is also pretty accurate. These people are really stupid since they could have stepped back and gotten a better shot at Katniss.
The contestants' happiness in the fate of imminent death also appears misplaced. Like, bitch, this isn't a camping trip, you're probably going to die.
Also, I agree with this statement. Why are they acting so goddamn happy? They might be in an alliance for the time being, but death is very likely. Unless they are also psychopaths, which I guess could be a possibility.
The decision to not take shifts and keep watch over Katniss while sleeping feels really retarded. Why wouldn't someone stay awake and watch her?
I mean, this video is bad, but you have to agree with me on this one. Why would they all sleep at the same time? This is so freaking dumb.
Rue ends up saving Katniss from a bee sting, but it's a foolish move in a competition where only one person can survive. Why would you save your competition? Just take the opportunity and let them die.
Okay, so a few reasons Rue saved Katniss. To begin with, she knows Katniss would be a powerful ally, and since other people are teaming up, this isn't a bad idea. Next, she just straight up isn't a murderer. She refuses to kill even for the games, and that's what makes her such an innocent character. This is just in really bad taste. I was trying to be funny, I guess, but it does not land.
This introduction of super dogs as the game draws to a close feels out of nowhere and adds to the confusion. This wasn't set up at all, and even in the theatre back in 2012, I remember thinking, where the fuck did that come from?
So this wasn't set up, but one could argue that it wasn't out of nowhere. We can see throughout the movie that the game makers have complete control over the environment and can spawn things at will. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they could do this, and it makes more sense as the movies go on and we see other capital experiments. And that wraps it up. I'm so glad to have finally gotten that off my chest because that video sure did need some criticism. However, I'm happy to say that nowadays I try and release videos that actually make sense. And I might not be perfect, but I'm getting better, and I appreciate anyone who has supported me and helped me improve along the way. Be sure to subscribe for better videos, leave a like and comment if you'd like to support the channel, but most importantly of all, don't forget to stay critical, and that's the end of the show.